Hi guys! I'm currently in Hamburg, hence the change of background. And you know, usually I have an editor editing my videos, but she doesn't always have time to edit my videos, so I will do a bit of an unedited series where I just talk and do things. So yeah. Today, so I thought, okay, how can I make this interesting? Do I have leftovers? Okay, so it's Sunday. Tomorrow we fly back to Paris. So I'm gonna pack and I will talk a little bit about my weekend. Maybe Jürgen will add some of his thoughts. And I thought about the topics that I could talk about, like almost like this is a podcast, like a visual podcast. And I thought about what people ask me a lot about. And one of the topics is my birth control. So I quit my birth control on my birthday in January. So it's been 5 months. And I was taking my birth control for 15 years and I only found out this year that I was never allowed to even take it. I should have never taken it because I have migraine, and there are certain pills that are more suitable for people with migraine, but mine explicitly said this is not allowed to, like people who have a migraine are not allowed to take this one. And 15 years I've been taking this pill, and I went to a lot of doctors and I told them that I'm thinking about switching, my migraines are getting worse, and nobody listened to me. Like they were just like, oh no, keep taking it, switching would like mess up your hormones, da da da. And only this year I found out. And a lot of people ask me why I quit. And the reason is because I have migraines, but also because I am thinking more and more about a more holistic approach to, you know, my body, my health. And if you do research on the pill, it's really freaking scary that this is being prescribed like it's, I don't know, like vitamin C. Like everything I found out about the pill is so shocking and so, like, I'm just so shocked that nobody talks about this more often. And honestly, it was the best decision ever because I feel like I can think clear again. And what I had with the pill, so many times I felt like there was a, how do you call, like everything was kind of blurry. Not always, but I had days where life felt blurry, like I couldn't think clear. And what else has changed? I mean, now it was 5 months ago, 4 to 5 months ago. So they say after 4 to 6 months your skin will break out, and I'm starting to get a few pimples, which is totally cool. And to be honest, my nutrition hasn't been great in the past week with the launch, and you know, I was here for a wedding, so we were drinking a lot of alcohol, and when we did the launch we were in the office until midnight, so we would always have red wine, so we were just drinking a lot, and I think that's like never helpful for my skin. And yeah, I noticed a few changes, just that I lost my water retention in my body. Like, I had so much water retention, and I wasn't even aware it was water retention. But my fingers would always swell like crazy, my legs would swell. It was like so weird. That's gone. And people are like, oh my god, you've lost weight, da, 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 da. And I'm like, no, I just don't have water stored in every cell of my body. You know, the first month after I quit, I was so like emotional. I remember I would cry like every second. Wait, I actually need to pack. Kannst du mir den Koffer holen? Jürgen for the rescue. I was like, wait, I told you I would be packing. Oh, I already talked for 5 minutes. Damn, time is passing fast. Okay. Anyway, it was the best decision I ever made. I'm still in the process of, you know, getting rid of the hormones. It can take up to a year, and I still haven't gotten my period, which is like kind of nice, but at the same time, like, I just want to have a balanced hormones. And you know what I actually read? Since I stopped the pill, I got books about, you know, hormones. And it's actually so interesting. Like, you know, when you get period cramps or...
Like this, maybe?
Thank you!
Hello.
You have period cramps or just like PMS. And the interesting thing that it's not natural, it just means that your hormones are out of balance. And you have such a big influence on your hormones. Like I just recently got into this topic, so I can't say too much about it. But it's a topic worth exploring. If you're a woman, it's definitely something to look into. And I'm just so happy. Oh yeah, and you know what? I also really noticed that I can listen to my body so much better. Like, I mentioned this in a video, but sometimes I just eat and eat and eat, and I wouldn't really feel when I was full. But since I stopped taking the pill, I'm so much more sensitive to the signs that my body gives me. So that's that. Alright, how am I gonna do this? Yeah.
What things do you need?
Just like all my clothing. Maybe the one that's hung there. You know, I thought about what I could talk about, and I think I want to talk about marriage. Marriage. How do you say it?
Marriage.
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 So we were at a wedding, and there was this one thing that happened. So, you know, the bride is throwing the bouquet, and then the girls are like trying to catch it, and I stepped away. It's a meme now. Like it also went viral on my TikTok, and I thought it's so funny, but a lot of people are like, oh my god, she doesn't want to get married, her poor boyfriend. And I think it's so interesting, like the whole marriage thing. I mean, I'm all like, I love weddings. Like, I love weddings. I want to be invited to so much more weddings. I love when people celebrate. Even like the idea of marriage, I'm like totally fine when other people do that. But what I noticed is what really annoys me personally is the whole expectation, especially when it comes to like me and Jürgen. People are like, oh my god, you've been together for so long, almost 10 years. Like, why are you not getting married? And I think it's so weird, like to me personally, because I'm like, if I get married, I wouldn't get married because of religious reasons. Like, let's be clear on that. I just have zero pressure to get married because I don't need to personally prove to anybody that what we have is real, or that, I don't know. Like, I don't understand why society expects everybody, like, just because you're dating, you're a couple, you're happy, you need to get married. Like, I'm happy for others, but for me, I don't feel the need to at the moment. And like, my whole point is that I'm so annoyed by all these people like asking me, wondering why we're not married yet, that I almost don't want to get married out of protest. Which of course I won't do. Like, at one point we will get married, but like, what is up with society? Like the thing with marriages, like, I literally told Jürgen, and I love him like more than anything.
You never told me that.
But I told Jürgen, if you would propose now, I would say no, because it's just not I don't have the headspace for that. And I don't know. Like, I'm so overwhelmed with life, like many times. My biggest baby is attire right now. You know, it's like what I think about every day, what we work on every day, where we put all our money in. And like, of course you get a wedding planner, but still you have to do so many decisions, la-di-la-di-da. Like alone doing the guest list would stress me out so hard. And like I said, I wouldn't get married for religious reasons. I would get married for the celebration. Like that would already stress me so much. And then the financial part, like right now, I want to invest everything that I have into attire. And just a wedding is also so expensive. I mean, the kind of wedding that I want. And you know, that's the thing. We're all so different. And just because I personally don't want to get married at this moment, I don't mean that people shouldn't get married. Like, no, that's not what I mean. I just think it's crazy that there's so much expectation from society. Also like, you have to get children at a certain age, la-di-da-di-da. No, we are so different and everybody has such a unique path. And it was so interesting because, you know, 2 of my best friends got married, like, and I love them so much and we get along so well. Like I'm so grateful for this friendship that we have. But yesterday, you know, we went out for dinner and we talked. You know, we talked about business and they were like, oh, I'm thinking about this and that. And me and my friend, like my other best friend, we immediately started, okay, you have to do this and that. You need to read this book. You need to do this. Like our brain just exploded with ideas what they should do for their business. And then Melissa turned to me and she was like, yeah, I just don't know. I'm like really content at where I am right now. And I'm really happy. Like I don't want the hustle. And I told her, oh my God, like I totally misunderstood because in my life or my life path is just so different than other people's path. But it doesn't mean that mine is right, because then she went on and she was like, I admire you for being so disciplined, blah, blah, blah. But that just because I love doing what I do and I love to hustle and all that, it doesn't mean that this is like the only way in life. And I personally believe that success is overrated in a way. Like if you are not, like what, it's so hard to explain. You might need to help me out, but do you know what I mean?
I really know what you mean.
Like
do you know what she means? Because I totally know what you mean.
You really don't know what I mean?
No,
my point is that
what you want to say. So let me translate here. It's that everyone has his or her own path, and only because Xenia at the moment wants to, like she said, wants to put everything in attire, and that is what she thinks about all of the time.
Like I loved creating a business and I love making this business successful. But that doesn't mean that that's my definition, like that's my only definition of success. Like, because then she went on and she was like, I'm such a family person and that's my main priority in life. And I was like, this is so great. And I think it's not even like everybody of us has one path in life. I think there's periods in life for certain things. And my period right now is, I love being an entrepreneur. I just love it. People ask me all the time, how do you motivate to do this and that? Motivation is bullshit. It doesn't exist. And that's why I think it's so important to find something that you want, that pulls you automatically, where you don't need motivation. Like I don't need, of course I do things that are not always fun, but you don't need, I don't know, it's just my path right now. And I'm so happy, even though I have so many struggles with my business, and I can totally understand that this is not something for everybody. But for me, I love it. I love creating something and seeing it grow, and I love it all. But that doesn't mean, and it's ironic because I talk about success all the time, but I don't want to give the impression that in my eyes that's the only way to have a good life, because it's not. It's just something that is true to me at this time. And maybe this will change. Maybe in 5 years I will say fuck it and move to the cabins in the mountains and live a very simple life. Who knows? Like, who knows? What do you want to say?
No, I just wanted to check. What's the time? Just so we have an overview.
Oh my god, I talk so much.
Talking and talking.
Yeah, so then she said, it was a really interesting conversation because she was like, right now I just don't have goals because she's so happy at where she is. And I looked at him like, oh my god, don't understand me wrong. Like, you don't have to have goals. And especially if you're content at where you are, then enjoy it. And I think there's literally nothing wrong with this. I really believe, and I'm part of the problem, you know, that's why I want to talk about it, because I give the impression that success is like, I don't know. Do I give the impression that, I mean, I love to show that I love being successful, I love being strong, an entrepreneur, and all that, but that doesn't mean that this is the way for everybody.
Yeah, which is true. And I also think that, like you said before, defining success or the definition of success can look so different for so many people. Like, basically, I think the most important is that you know what success means for you.
Exactly.
And maybe right now, and also that doesn't mean that it can't change. It can change anytime.
That's also what we told her. I'm like, right now, if you just want to chill and enjoy yourself, then do that. And maybe in 3 years you will be like, oh, I want to do something different. Maybe that's like all fine. I think there's so much, I don't know, expectation from outside.
Plus also, I think right now society expects you to have one, like to always stick to the same thing that you once said.
I think also the whole topic with like finding your life's purpose is so fucking overrated because it puts so much pressure. And I have so many people DMing me and they're like, oh, you like love what you do, and I'm trying to find like my purpose in life, la-di-la-di-da, and it's so hard for me. And maybe your purpose in life is just being alive and enjoy it while it lasts. Like, it doesn't need to be this grand vision. And even if it is right now for me, maybe I will just become a DJ and drop everything else. Like, who knows? Like, life, I don't know. I'm just like, right now I'm kind of fed up with society's expectations, especially with like the whole wedding thing. I'm like, I love weddings, but just because I love weddings, I love celebrating love, it doesn't mean that we need to get married right now, right?
Yeah, no, totally.
Totally. I mean, you can talk about your attitude towards marriage.
No, I think celebrating love is always a really good thing, especially if you really feel it and not if you feel that you have to do it for someone else, which is basically, I guess, what you meant. But
can you explain to me, like, why, like, what's the point of getting married except the party?
I think it's more to give a vow to each other and that, like, show that you really mean it. But of course, like, we already really mean it. It's
yeah,
not
but
that
that's my point. Like, it won't change anything about
no, not for us. But like, that's how we think about it. And I understand that for other people it's a lot more important.
Of course, I'm not talking.
Is totally fine.
Yes, no, I'm not saying that other people, like, marriage is not overrated. Not even that. It's just that I feel like our relationship, we are already like a married couple, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wouldn't like change a lot.
No,
and also, okay, so back to the thing when I step back, and I also explained to my friends yesterday, of course it's funny and all that, but I don't want the attention, you know? I don't want to catch the bouquet and then people are like, oh my god, you need to get married, like more than they are already saying it.
You should have seen Xenia, she didn't even want to be in that row of girls.
People are like, why did you go there if you don't want to catch it? I'm like, well, what should I say? Like, fuck you, I don't want to be there.
No, it's also a nice tradition, kind of.
It is a fun tradition, and honestly, if it was flying to me, of course I would have like
tried to catch it. Oops.
I'm so clumsy. It's not that, but I didn't want the attention, and I know that people are just so crazy. And one day the day will come, and until then.
But what I would really love to know from you guys also is, what are your thoughts about this? Do you feel like, do you think the same like us, or do you?
No, I think most people.
Different thoughts about this? Or?
I think most people have, and that's why I like emphasize I don't want to offend anybody, because...
No, I think it's not about that at the end of the day.
I think people are offended when I voice my opinion
when you step back from the bouquet.
Yeah, literally, people are offended, but I don't mean it in an offensive way.
No, which is completely fine, I think.
Okay, anything else, or shall we just like stop?
I
actually
think,
focus on packing.
I think it would be really interesting to leave it like that and see what you guys think about this.
But you know what would also be interesting, because I just like mentioned like success and stuff. Like you also have a different attitude towards success, right? Than me. Yeah. You're not as like, I'm like hardcore driven, but it's just because that's what I love to be. It's not like I'm forcing myself, but you're also different. You could be happy with like a simple life, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, we already said that in one of the earlier videos, that from like between the both of us, definitely Xenia is the one who has the drive and the entrepreneur spirit that like gave us all the opportunity that we have now. And I absolutely support her, and I'm always there, try as best as I can to support her with that. And I'm super happy actually that she has all this drive, because like she said, exactly, so like she said, I could also sometimes just sleep an hour longer, but yeah,
but that's fine.
I try to work really smart, you know.
I'm also all about working smart,
but I'm even smarter. Working smarter is my philosophy. But yeah, like I said, I don't even think we should go even deeper into this.
No, I just want to mention one more thing. Oh, because I talk about success all the time, but you know, I know, like deep in my heart, I know that in the end, in life, all these things don't matter. Like all these, even though I'm like the epitome of like luxury fashion and like this lifestyle, but in my heart, and when it really comes down, I know that all of this doesn't matter. And like the other day, I was in Lulu, which is like my favorite restaurant in Paris. It was like 5 days ago or something, and I was there with my team, and I just loved the restaurant. We had such a good time, and the food was amazing. The wine was amazing, and it was like fancy, you know, you have the Eiffel Tower view. And then I look at Rue, and Rue's so unbothered, and Rue, all she wants is play. And you know, I look at her, and the sun was shining in her face, and she was just looking to other dogs, and I was like, and this is it, you know, like you don't need all the fanciness, because in the end, it's not what matters. In the end, what matters is love, memories, or like having a good time, enjoying.
Being healthy.
Yeah, of course, I mean that's the base of everything, but what really matters is, I think, experiencing love and also have fun, but also experience life in all its facets, which is also like sadness and anger and all this. Like that's part of it, and that's literally all that matters. And even though I'm part of the problem, I'm also aware that this is not everything. Okay, we're at 25 minutes. I think now it's a good time to stop.
So let us know what you think. What are your thoughts about this? And
we just uploaded like this, right? No edit.
Yeah, I think so.
Sweet.
Because I like to work smart and don't want to edit this.
All right, guys. See you.
See you.